took my trans daughter to see her pediatrician for the first time since she has come out as trans. I called ahead to give them a heads up, and they assured me everything would be okay. When I got there, it was not okay. When we brought up the subject of puberty blockers, which we were just asking for information at this point, the doctor said, "Oh, I do not have any trans patients and I don't know anything about that." But then proceeded to ask questions such as, "Have you researched people who regret transitioning?" No, I haven't. Because that's not really my concern right now. My concern is to make sure my child doesn't turn into a statistic and unalive herself because she's not being loved and validated. So we're finding a new doctor.
Honestly, this one makes me super upset because in this scenario, the doctor should have probably called Child Protective Services. A child, like saying that there's a child who thinks it's trans is like saying there's a dog that thinks it's vegan. You know who's making the decision. Children don't think like this. So there's an unstable parent who is forcing upon their child, maybe because they think it shows that they're virtuous. Like, look, I'm accepting and I'm a great parent because my child wants puberty blockers. But in reality, that's what the parent wants. So good on the doctor for making, I guess, kind of edging them in the right direction by saying, have you heard of trans regret? But the fact that this is a child, when I was growing up, no child knew what trans was. Nobody thought about that. So the fact that this child is young enough that they're at a pediatrician, talking about puberty blockers means that there is a mother that needs to be removed from the care of that child. I've spoken to people that do have trans regret. Particularly Walt Heyer came on my show. I've had him multiple times on various shows, and the statistics that she probably needs to be paying most attention to are the ones about trans regret. And it is usually because, as Walt Heyer told me, because they're forced into making a decision, because you have an entire ecosystem of people, the parents, the doctors, that are complicit in making them make a radical decision that in the end will ruin their lives. Your child will not be able to procreate. I can't even imagine putting a small child on puberty blockers. That means the age of this child she's talking about, this child has not even gone through puberty yet. And they're trying to discuss blocking that puberty from taking place. What you're looking at is worse than a radical. You can be a radical unto thyself. This woman is harming a child. And this TikTok account should be removed. This woman should be investigated. But that would all be happening in a sane world.